Greetings, football fans. Fabulous football fans. Just trying to do some alliteration here. Not important. It is week number 4. And we are 25% done with the season. So I don't know how depressing that is, unless you hate football, in which case, I don't know what to tell you. What are you doing here? All right. Drinking wine because trying to cut down on beer because of calories. I like IPAs, but 220 calories a bottle. Who's got time for that? 90 calories in an 8-ounce glass of wine. So just food for thought, or wine for thought, booze for thought. Think about it. We had a good week. We had a great week of football, mainly because I did better. And for me, that means a lot. It comes from the heart. As you can see, there's probably going to be less post this week. So if you're thinking, what post-crate special effects is he going to do? Not a lot. I spent so many hours last week on all these effects. I'm still learning, trying to automate. The more I can automate, the better. I already got the score of this, all the games in a database, and that helps. But it's just matching, having the logos come in. If I can automate all that, I can run a routine, and I can automatically do everything. Hence the word automate. Why am I telling you that? Let's get to the scores. Okay, who won the week? Well, I did, kind of. All right, I tied with Paul. We both got not even a lot, 88 points. I missed 6 games and still came out. But we had a lot of upsets, of course, but at least this week wasn't as bad as last week. There was just way too many upsets. And again, it matters where you put your points, where you put your weights. I've explained that all before. I'm not going to explain it again. I said that all in one breath. But the problem is we both had 44 points for the tiebreaker. And what's funny is I looked it up online earlier in the day. I thought, all right, what is the average Monday night total? I know it's higher usually than other games because it's Monday night and people are watching. But it was, I think, 45.4 or something like that. But I kept mine at 44. I thought about actually going to 45, but I also thought about going to 40. So, yeah, I don't know. And it's not like the price is right without going over. Although, did we go over? We didn't go over anyway. It was 49 was the total point. So, again, it was a high-scoring game. Great game, but so now we tied. That's fine. I mean, it's hard to come in first. There's some great players this year, so that makes it tough. People actually are guessing correctly. Let's get to the actual games. Okay, Chicago, Green Bay. Green Bay always beats Chicago, and this year, as I said, we could probably write Chicago off at this point. We have New Orleans and Miami, and I feel bad for the Londoners because are they getting great football over there? They get 3 games a year, I believe, right now, and they won't even keep talking about a team over there, but. Yeah, just blowouts are no fun. You want exciting games, but at least one team got a lot of points. Well, 20. Anyway, so yeah, I think the Cutler. We have the Cutler question has been answered, and yeah, so I don't know what to say about that. That's too bad. No, well, but it's Miami. Come on. Next, we have Tennessee and Houston. That was kind of a blowout. I did not see that one coming at all. Although, did I pick Houston? I did actually pick Houston, but because they're on fire. And again, I think for quarterbacks coming out of college now, the NFL is a lot more adaptive and ready to go for their style, for more of a running style, of course. It's college to NFL, but before it was like you kind of had to wait. You had to adapt to the NFL. Now the NFL is like, well, let's shoot. Why don't we just adapt to them? So in a lot of ways they have, although I think they prefer people to be passed first. Just because it's easy to get hurt, as we've seen this week. We see every week. It's just we lose people so fast in the NFL because it's a violent sport. But they've done all they can to fix it. At this point, if they're going to keep it the NFL, you can only do so much. It's a full contact sport. All right, what do we have next? We have Cincinnati and Cleveland. I told you Cincinnati, you cannot cross them out this early. You cannot cross Andy Dalton out this. There are a few bad games. You had to get rid of Roethlisberger if you had a few bad games. You might think about it, I suppose, but nah, it's still too early for them. And Dalton's a good quarterback and had a good game. But then again, it was Cleveland. So we shall see. Detroit, my Minnesota. I'm actually happy for Detroit. I'm glad to see that. I'm rooting for both Minnesota and Detroit. So it's hard to pick a winner in that game. But Detroit's got a lot of talent on their team, so it sucks when they lose when they shouldn't lose. All right, Buffalo over Atlanta. Did not see that one coming, and I lost a good 14 points on it. Pittsburgh over Baltimore, kind of, yeah, I put 12 on Pittsburgh. Go me. But, Baltimore's just not having a good season, and I don't think that'll change. Los Angeles Rams over Dallas That one, I lost 13 points on that one. So you can kind of get a better feeling of Dallas. They're not quite as invincible as last year. Although, what were the points? 30 and 35. So it looks like it was more of an offensive game. So their offensive weapons seem to be doing just fine. It's their defense that's not holding up. But still, if you got another high-scoring team, then you could end up losing, which they did, and that cost me a lot. Okay, Jacksonville over the New York Jets. Jets, J-E-S-T. It's just crazy. It reminds me of the Ryan Fitzpatrick era, where you just never know who's going to show up for quarterback. But again, I don't know. It is Jacksonville as well too. So yeah, those are games where you don't put a lot of. I put 2 points, and I put them on the Jets. I don't know why, but I did, and they won. Carolina over New England, and now, of course, some people are very upset about this. New England has the worst defense in the NFL right now. I mean, you don't think New England, worst defense in the NFL? How'd that happen? I thought they do miracles more on offense. I guess not as so much on defense, at least this year at least. So does Tom Brady have enough magic to always win? Well, he did actually come from behind the fourth quarter, and he got the touchdowns he needed, and the game should have been theirs, but the defense could not stop Cam Newton. And even the offense of Carolina hasn't been that hot this year, so again, if you have the worst defense, you're going to have these things happen. So that's a huge problem for New England, and especially when Buffalo is now in the first place in the NFC East. Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. We may not have the Patriots going back to the Super Bowl this year. Patriots fans hate that, but at this point, that's the truth. That's all I speak. It's the truth, right? Okay, what's next on the list? Philadelphia over the Los Angeles Chargers. The poor Chargers. I mean, they're again, a lot of talent on the team. Rivers, he seems to play enough to win, and maybe you could blame the defenses on that too. Although Rivers makes boneheaded plays a lot too, but I don't know. It's just, it kind of feels like the same old Chargers. That's kind of what they do. They get close and they lose. They've lost like 8 close games, like 2 points or less or something in the past like 2 seasons. 8. I mean, just crazy. The Philadelphia and the Los Angeles, that's what I just talked about. San Francisco and Arizona. Both teams are playing well, and I'm actually proud of how well a 0-4 team has been playing, but they haven't been getting blown away. It hasn't been just they've been completely sucked, and Kyle Shanahan's done a lot with the team so far, and maybe their quarterback is going to work out, but they've not. I mean, these games are actually, they're contending every game. They're just losing by a little bit, so that's I think that's all most of us expected or could ask for this season. I mean, although the shame is that the NFC West is pretty open for anyone to come in and claim it. So and right now it's the Rams that are doing so. Okay, what's next? New York Giants and Tampa Bay. Well, actually, Tampa Bay showed more vulnerability, which they seem to be doing off and on. And that's a tough division. You would not want to be. The worst division, or the toughest division, I should say, not the worst, but the hardest one right now is the NFC South, because not one of those teams is below 500. I mean, the Saints are at 500, of course, but you've got Atlanta, you've got Carolina, and you've got Tampa Bay, and those are all strong, powerful teams that could have playoff hopes. So, but there could be only one. Well, one and a couple wild cards, so there could be a couple. Next, we have Oakland and Denver. That's too bad. And with Derek Carr, who does so many good things for his community and just the NFL in general too. That sucks. I mean, it really does. We'll see how good the backup is, but there aren't many. I think I don't know if you'd list Derek Carr in a top 5 right now quarterback, but definitely top 10. But he's out now, so like 2 to 6 weeks, and they've already kind of shown some problems on defense. So it sucks. I mean, because they had such high hopes, and oh well. But who knows? It's not. The future is not. The book has not been written. The pages are not signed, sealed, and delivered. I should have thought about that one before I started this shoot. But again, this shoot is more off the cuff. They're all off the cuff. I have no cuff. Do I? Yeah, I have no cuff because it's just a Cool. Okay, going on. Now we're at 9 minutes. Let's finish before 11. Okay, we have Indiana and the Seahawks. Well, I guess the Seahawks are on fire. They're at home. I mean, on home, it's a whole different team. But Indianapolis, I can kind of write them off at this point. I think almost all of us picked, nope, one person, almost all of us picked the Seahawks. How could you not pick the Seahawks? Well, at least it was only 1 point. Washington and KC, just finished that game not too long ago. Great game. I mean, you're kind of rooting for both teams in some ways. Both quarterbacks did great. And you kind of see what the secret between Alex Smith is and even Kirk Cousins this season so far. Aaron Rodgers has been doing it for a while. Just playing smarter football. And most of the times when you got these talented quarterbacks that start losing, it's because they're trying too hard to make something happen and throwing interceptions. And now play the safe dink and dump, only go long if it's a sure thing and you have a good feeling about it, or if it's early enough. Either early enough in the game where you're still not going to lose too much, or late in the game where you just have to do it, I suppose. But they are actually getting a lot better at that. I think Smith's done it for years. Just play smart football. Take a sack, throw it out of bounds, get rid of it, but don't throw interceptions. I mean, I know it's an obvious. You got to win the game by not making mistakes. But all right, we're at 10:55. Well, yeah, we're close to 11. Let's just say 12. Okay. So anyway, anything left? Year to date, actually, I tried to make this stuff happen, but it's a screenshot, so nothing can happen. It's not alive. I could load the CB. What am I saying all this for? All right, that's it for NFL picks. Week number 4. Why do I have 10 fingers up? Because I can't count. I'm not a math major, but it was a good week. As you notice, I had different glasses this time because last week, those glasses are so, I don't want to say nerdy, but they are. But I tried to actually fix them. My other pair that broke, I tried to go out and use crazy glue, but you're crazy if you think crazy glue is just going to fix everything like on the TV commercials, if they even show those these days. I don't think they do. But then I tried something. What did I try? I tried a soldering iron, trying to like melt the edges of the plastic together and kind of squeeze them. And in my mind, it sounded like a good idea, and like this was actually going to work. I just saw it like being so easy. Melt, 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 together, seal, done. And I was like, good as new. Doesn't work that way. I just made a molten plastic mess of the ends, and they did work for about an hour. I put it on my face, it was all askew, but then at one point they broke again, and I thought I've ruined what could have been fixed, but it's now ruined forever. So don't try that at home. If your glasses break, I don't know, get new glasses, I guess. It just sucks, because those are nice glasses. Okay, that's it. That's way too long. Again, I'm sorry for not doing much in post, but next week, every other week I'll try and do it, because it takes about 2 weeks to get these graphics together. Graphics together. I like that. All right, and cheers.